Hello. It is day 18 of my fruit fast. And today is the first of 7 days in which I am curating for myself an astrotheologically imbued week-long process of the resurrection of my will and my soul within my body. What do I mean by astrotheological? Very briefly, astrotheology is the study of the stars, of God, and of their presence within our language, living and breathing to symbolically code the astro-mythological experience of our being. I believe this will become more clear as I describe exactly what I'm doing. Today is Wednesday. Miércoles. In French, mercredi. It is named after Mercury. Mercury is a luminary, as well as a deity. He is Hermes. As well as another deity and many others, but I can't conjure them right now. Astrotheology in practice is the noticing of some everyday thing. Well, one day a week thing. Wednesday. There is an energetic attachment between Wednesday and a planet in the sky, which is also a planet within your astrological chart. Mercury. My Mercury is in Scorpio, in my 9th house. Mercury is the planet and the deity of communication. So what does this have to do with my 7-day challenge to myself? Given that it is Wednesday, so that there is an unconscious or conscious energy present of communication within the collective consciousness of humanity, I am making this day about all things mercurial. And not only that, but mercurial in relation to my scorpionic 9th house placement. So what that means, actually, before I get into today, Thursday is for Thor, for Jupiter. Jupiter is Thor. Expansion. Friday is for Venus. Friday, Freya. Viernes, Vendredi, Venus. The astrotheological method, from what I've observed, is to trace the etymological, phonetic breaths that are physically present within the speaking of words as they are coded into reality. Sometimes it's a little iffy and like, really? That connects? But this one's clearly done. The Gregorian calendrical system has woven these 7 planetary systems into the weeks intentionally. Saturday, Saturn. Sunday, the sun. Monday, the moon. Tuesday, martes, mardi, Mars. So I am practicing, experimenting with curating each day according to the energy with which it has been named. And this came through me yesterday as I was walking and breathing through my body. And it's just like, actually it didn't come through yesterday, it's come through before. But the desire to implement it and be like, all right, finally we're going to use our free will to do this and try it out and see what happens. So today being Wednesday means it is Mercury. So I have set an intention for the day to be in deeper relationship to my mercurial aspects and to all mercurial aspects in the world. In setting that intention, my reality presents itself and aligns itself to that intention, for I am essentially operating and vibrating at the energetic level of Mercury. I still have a list of things that I am going to get to, which really involves more writing and sending messages to people. Some of the intentions for the day were writing, like dedicate at least an hour or two to just writing and writing and writing and write, whatever wants to come through. As well as certain intentional writing that I want to do. The second thing is communication. I am working on getting better at responding to people's messages. I have this tendency of being in dialogue with people on Instagram, for example, and then just suddenly I'm like, I'm not responding to any messages for a week, for a month. So there's all these people that I've been meaning to be engaged with, and I have a list and I'm going to message all of them. I've already messaged some of them. So I did some writing this morning. I did some communication. And here, in this moment, very interestingly, I started recording right as the sun was setting, which means I have something of a limited amount of time before it gets dark and you can't really see my face anymore, which is fine probably, but I'd rather have some kind of daylight in the video. And so there's like an invitation from the convergence of my will, intentionally woven with Mercury, with the universe and the world, to say, practice being concise, practice speaking precisely, practice concision in your communication and effectiveness. Mercury, Hermes, whoever the other guy is, walks around with those little angelic shoes with wings on them, and he runs really fast, and he's like the messenger god. So all of the communications, the mailing system, the USPS is something very mercurial. It's like all of these messages must go around, and it must be done efficiently. So I've been invited by this intention to work upon the effectiveness of my communication, particularly when I didn't fully know what I wanted to talk about with regard to all of this. That might be it. Let me feel. I realize this is unfortunate that I am posting this on a Thursday. I gotta figure that out. So this is just an invitation to any of you tuning in to at least bring awareness to this fact that not only are the days particularly scripted and coded in a particular way in reality, but you have the ability, this willful ability, to work with these energies, which do have an impact upon reality. And then you can go as deep as you would like with this practice. You can go into your chart. Thor, Jupiter. Where is Jupiter placed on your chart? Is it in Sagittarius? Is it in Gemini? And what house is it in? And then you can decode that aspect of yourself, and you can work with that aspect of yourself that day. And set aside 1 hour, 2 hours to intentionally do that work of soulful self-discovery. And that is the intention of this entire week that I'm curating, which is coming out of a desire to be disciplined and effective with my time and my energy while I'm here in beautiful Costa Rica. And to do so in a way that is not only like fun and engaging, but truly a process of self-discovery that brings novelty and excitement every single day. So yeah, that's what I'm embarking on. And I'm going to see where it leads. It feels really correct in my body. It feels really exciting. It feels really beautiful. It feels very natural, and it feels very aligned with the perceptive frameworks that have been coming online and awakening within my being, as though they've always been dormant, and I'm finally giving them life by shedding all of these layers during this momentous time of ecliptical transformation. So I'm going to be, I believe, posting. I will at least be posting with those intentions woven into my days. And whatever will be coming through during those days is what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to be forceful with anything, but those are the intentional seeds that are being planted, and I'm going to be harvesting whatever comes, or at least tilling the soil, so to speak, and planting little seeds. And perhaps this will be my weekly routine. Okay. Hopefully that was good. So there's a few things that I forgot to mention earlier. Part of the intention of why I'm doing this is I've been making to-do lists, and then I've been accomplishing them. And then that leaves me with a lot of downtime, which is beautiful. And the free time I have been using beautifully. But there is like a little bit of purposeless, purgatorial time which is spent scrolling. So that part of my intention with this practice is also to fill all of that time that is used less optimally, more avoidantly, let's say, and to use that time more intentionally. So not only am I planting the intention of working with the luminaries, but I'm also planting the intention of replacing behaviors which I want to release from my life, which I have been doing, and to replace them with behaviors that I want in my life. And so the focus on what I want to do, I haven't brought such clarity to it. And this method is intended to bring forth that clarity. Not only in connecting with the luminaries themselves, but then associating them with aspects of my astrologically coded personality, which tell me about myself, what I am passionate about, what in this area of my life I can put more energy into in order to learn about myself, in order to expand, in order to evolve. Something that I didn't mention about Mercury, let's see. I don't have the list right here, it's over there. The communicative aspects. One of the most central elements of my being is my affinity for language. And not only English, but I speak French, and I kind of speak Spanish. I'm getting around here in Costa Rica, and I learned it in high school, so I have the foundations. But a practice that I am trying to integrate on every Wednesday, day of Mercury, is to just spend 30 minutes practicing a language. Right now I'm in Costa Rica, so practicing Spanish, because I've been getting by, but I've been noticing that conjugations I'm not good with, but that's easy to learn. It's just a matter of practicing in certain words, and 30 minutes a week, maybe it'll become a daily thing. So this is the point that I'm trying to get at, is this is a good way to feel into certain practices that have been important to you in your life, but which you have been neglecting, and to give a day that intentionally can invite those practices in at the expense of the practices which you do not want in your life, the vices. Yeah. So I'm going to be focusing on some Spanish. In fact, right after I record this video, I'm going to do 30 minutes of Spanish. And then maybe when I'm in a non-Spanish speaking country, I can focus on Latin and Greek, because these are such fundamental languages, especially within the astrotheological subject which I'm talking about. Interestingly, years ago, I named my Instagram Astrotheosis. The word apotheosis means becoming divine. And so I just wanted to make it kind of cool with the astro. But I believe there is a code hidden in there. As I'm in this process of discovering my purpose, and I'm here speaking about astrotheology, and I've been digging into my body, and this has emerged, there is a subtle reminder and push from my subconscious and higher self, which is like, hey, do you remember that you are a fanatic about language? fanatic. Anyway, you get what I mean. So I feel like there's something there for me in my discovering of my purpose, in the tracing of etymological and etymological breaths of phonetic meaning to pursue truth in a way that is embodied and in a way that can uncover universality within the particularities and peculiarities of language. So finding an embodied way to work with language. And the last thing that I wanted to say about Mercury itself is that this being a day about communication, it's also part of my intention and my practice to listen to the communications of my body as a particular other kind of language, which is more subtle, which is more sensory, which is more transcendental, which is more silent, less mental, though Mercury is a very mental and intellectual planet. I am inviting somatic elements to this practice. Yeah. So I am fortunate enough to have a lot of time on my hands right now, which hopefully will stay the case for a really long time for the rest of my life. But I still have some doubts about that. We'll see. I'm not gonna confine myself, but all that to say, if you find yourself having less free time because you have to go and work, focus upon these aspects during your work. Pay attention to the layers of communication that are arising during your work shift. Pay attention on a Thursday, the Jupiterian aspects of your work. Pay attention. And then on the free time that you have after work, once you're done, don't spend that time scrolling on your phone or indulging in vices and behaviors that cause you to avoid the pain of the fact that you are doing something that you do not wish to be doing, assuming that a lot of human beings find themselves in such a situation. I certainly have found myself in such situations. Give yourself, let's say, 30 minutes, an hour. Choose a certain time window and dedicate that time window to an intentional relating to whatever planetary luminary aspect belongs to the day. And then use that and expand your soul with the experience that you uncover there. And make this a practice if you feel in tune with it, if you feel resonant with it. If not, let it go. But I suspect if you are this far in the video, it could be something fun to work with and useful and beneficent. Okay, that's it. Love you. Goodbye.